So today I'm sat in a Hyundai i10 we have for sale, talking about a Volvo XC60. Now, I've got a customer that's called up recently, and this happens a lot, and I thought I'd do a video on it because it's quite interesting, and a lot of people would find it interesting on what you kind of do. So we had a customer call up recently with a Volvo XC60. Now, they're down in the Dorset area, travelled down from Scotland. They said that they had a lack of power, a losing power issue, which the AA diagnosed as the EGR valve. Now, that sounds correct, which was interesting, because they then said that it was also overheating and they had to stop to cool it down, which potentially they could have meant maybe, the losing power, if they switched off and on again after a bit of time, it might have reset the limp, etc. Maybe it meant that. Maybe it was overheating. It could have been a coolant issue. I don't really know. The description wasn't great, obviously, over the phone. It's not far after Christmas, so everyone's still in that kind of festive state, and if you're down on holiday, you're going to want to get back home, especially if you live in a different, region, county, whatever. So they had quite a distance to go up north. Now, originally they needed to leave on the Friday. Now, I could have got them in on the first day of the week, the Monday, and they needed to leave on the Friday. Everything sounds good. Now, I'm doing this video on the Saturday. The call was recently, so I'm booking for next week. I can get them in on the Tuesday, and because the Monday's pretty booked, and we can work through there, confirm that the EGR valve is faulty, if it's not faulty, etc. Now, the customer understands that the AA have already diagnosed their EGR valve, and no ill will or anything like that. The AA have obviously told them that it is that, they believe that, so why are they going to need it diagnosed again? Not that they've said that, that's the other side you got to think about. But if you look at it from our point of view as the mechanic that's got to then fit the EGR valve, you've got a couple options. You can diagnose it properly, double check everything, make sure that it is that, make sure that someone's not just throwing a guess at it, because you can't speak to the AA guy. You don't know what kind of background they've got. Not to say that I've got a in-depth, mechanical background. I've only been doing this 6 years at the company, not, fully on the spanners, mainly car sales, so don't know everything, don't get me wrong. An AA tech that's probably been there, a recovery guy that's been there, a year, probably knows, I don't know, I'm not going to guess. Anyway, so you can diagnose it properly. You can fit an EGR valve. There you, I guess, two options. Yeah. And what happens if it fixes it? Well, that's great. Great for everybody. Great for the AA, they got it right. Great for the customer, great for us. Great for everybody all around. The customer's happy. You've got a good all round end to the situation. Now, what happens if it doesn't? Is the customer going to be unhappy? They've got to then pay for a part that's not been fixed. It has been fitted. They're gonna have to pay for labor time. Is that our fault because we hadn't have diagnosed it potentially? But we're never gonna fit anything without being forthcoming with the customer. We need them to know that we need to diagnose this first. If you are requesting us to fit this specific part, we cannot guarantee that will cure your issue, not without looking into it ourselves. So at that point, then you get some customers that are unhappy because they believe that you've not fitted it right, or you've fitted a faulty part or something, whatever the circumstance may be, that they believe the AA because, you know, it's a big global national brand. But I guess it is AAA in America, you know. The kind of name has a ring to it, doesn't it? So everybody knows the AA. Again, we get loads of cars come in. Most of them are right. Some of them are right. Not all of them. But again, we don't know what kind of circumstance go out. They could be on a motorway, you know, can't get under the car, you know, because they've just pulled out on the hard shoulder or whatever. You don't know the situation, and you've got to diagnose stuff properly. You've got to diagnose stuff properly to make sure that when you fit that part, you've tested it, you've ensured that that is faulty and that is going to cure your replacement. Now, sometimes it doesn't go right, but if you have tested it and it tells you it's faulty, or there's a reason or some kind of what's the word, understanding to why that needs to be replaced, then you can replace it. But if you don't and you're just guessing, like, you know, I don't have the best mechanical knowledge. I just guess. I wouldn't want to be throwing parts at a customer's car that I don't know, you know what I mean? I can do certain stuff, but I can't personally say that engine's timing is out, rah, that needs an EGR, because I don't know the signs of an EGR. It's very easy for me to sit here and say this, you know, but I genuinely don't, and I can't say whether that customer coming in, them wanting their car back, because like I didn't go into this. So originally it was due to leave on a Friday. If it come in on the Tuesday, it would have left on the Friday. We could have even had it in on the Monday night. Then it was the Thursday, all in one phone call. Then it was the Wednesday, and by the end of the phone call, she wanted to drop off on the Tuesday and pick up on the Tuesday. Now, that's all great. An EGR can be done in that time. No problem. It can be diagnosed and tested and ordered in if it's in stock for that time. We can have the right one sat here, ready for it before it arrives. But what happens if it's not the EGR? What happens if it needs some other kind of investigation, some other kind of part, some other kind of testing? Then it's going to take more time, and then you're going to take more time to order those parts in, and then you're going to need to, you know, compare, test. You might get wrong parts. You've got to take all of this into account. Nothing to do with cars is simple. Nothing. I mean, yeah, nothing. You take someone who doesn't know how to put on a wiper blade, give them a wiper blade. You know, can they put it on? I mean, a universal one, yeah. Some of the fiddly ones, could they do it? Probably not, because I can't do it. And that's honest. So, yeah. Not everything is the way it seems. Sometimes you need to reassure, reassess, and make sure you're right, because at the end of the day, as a business, we can't afford to go out of pocket because of shortcuts. That's just not what we do. So, what did you think of the video? Do you think we should just fit the part? Do you think it's unfair to the customer to have to wait any longer? Do you think that, you know, what do you think? There are obviously many different sides to this story, and the reality is, if you're in that situation and you don't have any mechanical knowledge, you're obviously going to believe what you're told. That is true. Like, I would be the same. Then, when you're told something else, you just need to have an understanding of being open and wrong. Because I find every day I'm probably wrong in more times than right, and that's how you learn to be right. You kind of understand something, but you don't understand it the right way, or you quite didn't grasp it right, and then you hear it a couple more times and, you know, you absorb it and you get it and you retain it and you know it. So yeah, what do you think? Anyway, thanks for the video. Like, comment, subscribe for more. If you don't want me to do any more of these videos and you watch to the end, thank you very much. Put a comment and I won't do any more of these. Thank you.